Good Morning Football, presented by Old Trapper Beef Jerky, live in New York City, the epicenter of New Year's Day, if you will. Happy 2024, everybody. It's January 1. I'm Jamie Erdahl. There's Kyle Brandt, Peter Schrager, Jason McCourty. Kyle, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you guys. Great to see you. 2024. Was everybody up at midnight?
I was.
Oh,
Why?
Yeah?
Catching up on the games?
Yeah.
Catching up on
Have to ring it in. I was up. I was taking a leak, and then went back to bed.
I was going to say, what the heck were you doing?
I was up at midnight for 90 seconds.
Very good.
Didn't we have a 4:30 a.m. production call meeting for football talk?
Yeah.
We don't get holidays, but you know what? We get football.
We do get football, Peter. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
You're glowing in 2024.
This is our year.
This is our year?
This is our year.
Hey, look at us.
Hey, look at us. Look at us.
Who would have thought? Not me.
You got a big clock behind?
Giant clock.
Yeah.
Can I see that? Can I have my single?
Nothing's changed.
Clock striking midnight on you, buddy.
Giant clock. Yeah.
Why two Schrags?
Yeah, why is the clock striking midnight?
Because it's a new year.
Horrifying.
Means you're done.
You said we have football. Shall we get to the football?
Yeah, do it. Take
Let's
care
do
of
it. Let's
business.
get to the
What you got?
lead
He's doing it
block.
now.
We have some Packers.
Pat Ricard. Peter from?
Ricard from Maine.
Maine.
Black Bear.
The Black Bear. He is a converted D-tackle, all that stuff. The Ravens walloped the Dolphins 56-19. It got really ugly at the end. The Dolphins are still 11-5 and very much on the hunt with a massive game next week that we'll get to. But let's hear from Lamar Jackson and John Harbaugh. Here's Lamar on the Ravens' mindset as the #1 seed. Are they underappreciated and underrespected? What?
We've been an underdog all season, even all season. You know, we like to keep it that way and just keep that on our mindset. We don't fall into the narratives of things changing. You know, just last week we were about to get tore up, you know, however they said it. But our team, you know, we take that to heart and we go out there and play football. And that's what we know that's what we're supposed to do. You know, we can't go out there thinking, since we're the favorites, team's just going to bow down and just play how we want them to play. You got to go take it, and that's what we do.
To step up and play the way they had and to put an exclamation point on it, triple exclamation points on it with a performance like this, pretty much a well-rounded, perfect performance like that after the opening bell. Even that, to bounce back from the beginning of the game the way they did, it says about who they are, and I just have so much respect for them.
We love Harbs. Did he headbutt somebody after the game? It looks like he has a huge abrasion on his forehead.
Have you seen the locker room video?
I have.
Getting jiggy with it is the
Take a lion spike to the head, didn't
Yeah,
maybe.
exactly right. Ravens, what a story. They're the #1 seed. They've already clinched home field advantage throughout the AFC, and they get not only a Week 18 game where they don't have to play anybody, they also get the bye. Good for the Ravens. Dolphins, things get a little bit trickier. They go to the 2 seed, but a loss to Buffalo cost them the division and any home field games on Sunday. A wild one in the AFC. The NFC is even more interesting if you go through what happened on Saturday night, which I assure you we will detail. We're not avoiding Saturday night's game. The Niners, with the Philly loss, they go to 1 and already clinched things up. They're good. And then you look at Philly, they're on the outside as a wild card. They're going to be traveling to Tampa right now because Dallas, yes, they won that game, and Detroit is the 3 seed. But we see the Packers at the bottom there. They're now in, and the Seahawks are out because they lost to the Steelers at home.
Well,
Unbelievable.
Celebration, regardless of how intense it was, the Ravens had a blowout win. It was like convincing from any moment you turn that game on. You're like, wait a second, what's happening here in Baltimore? Jason, Lamar looked great.
He did, and for me, I was in Chicago. I was doing that game the whole time. You're checking the score. I get on the plane. I turn on NFL Plus, and I'm watching the condensed version as a gentleman next to me is coughing and doing all types of things on the airplane. Not a fun experience, but lovely. To your point, lovely. A great way to spend your New Year's Eve on a plane. That's the exact
Wet
sound.
cough.
Are you
terrible. But I turn this game on, and Lamar, you think about we went into the week, and you're talking about all the MVP talk about Lamar Jackson. Everybody's saying, but you look at their numbers, they're not even as good as where they were when he won the MVP back in 2019. And Lamar said, they're not that good. All right, well, watch what I do today. Threw for 5 touchdowns, just wheeling and dealing all over the field and convince everybody with his performance that, yes, I am the MVP, what I'm able to do with this Baltimore Ravens team. And it was everybody on the offense. Kyle just said it. Pat Ricard scoring a touchdown where he's grabbing the ball with one hand. Likely, so many different people.
You know who else got one? Melvin Gordon got one.
Gordon.
And he looked good doing it.
Making moves in the whole nine late in that game. And it was unbelievable. Just the way they beat down on them, because you went into this game and you're like, this is it. Miami, they were able to beat Dallas. They beat a winning football team. This, that, and the third. And the Ravens like, hold on, no. We are the team. And Jamie, you said it last week. The Ravens are the measuring stick right now in the NFL as the best team going. And they win that football game and they're celebrating, hats, T-shirts, the whole nine. And all I could think of was measuring stick.
Yeah.
And for John Harbaugh, he just set the measuring stick for what a head coach is supposed to look like in the locker room. So the next time we see one of these head coaches dancing and celebrate, if your knees don't work like John Harbaugh and you can't get that low and move the arms around with whatever dance move you want to call it, Harbs has been doing it for a long time. And when you see that type of passion, emotion, and energy in the locker room, look at that right there. Boy, he's getting low with those knees, and he makes it back up. So shout out to John Harbaugh. For sure, would you say, getting jiggy with it in the locker room?
I don't think he has that abrasion in that video, so I think something happened.
I think it's a war wound. It's the red badge of courage. I like it, Harbs.
I think the elbows got him.
Bam!
Dropping bows. No, like hyperbole is enough for what they just did, like to two of the best teams in football.
Yeah.
They went into San Francisco and kicked the snot out of them, and then the Dolphins come in with more days to rest, more days to prepare, and a whole game plan, and the Ravens just blew them out. You think about this, they were on the bye, the Ravens. They came off the bye. They beat the Rams 37-31 in that amazing, overtime win. They blew out the Jaguars in Jacksonville. They blew out the 49ers, and then they blew out the Dolphins. That's pretty good. They've been on the playoffs. And your reward now is Lamar doesn't have to play next week. Lamar doesn't have to play the following week. And you can just sit back, smoke a cigar, and watch the rest of the league beat each other up and have these collision courses while you guys sit and get healthy. I love what this team did yesterday because, like Jason was saying, it felt like an avalanche. And I go back to like the early 90s Bills in the playoffs, and it would be like they'd play the Raiders or the Dolphins, and it would be close in the first quarter, and then it would just be out of control. Jim Kelly, hitting Andre Reed, hitting Thurman Thomas, and then all of a sudden it's 60 points on the board, and you're like, wait, what, who? This is what it felt like. So many unsung guys on this team have stepped up in the last few weeks. You're talking about likely. Bateman's been really good, right? Like you watch these games. Justice Hill has been awesome. Melvin Gordon's making plays here. I really like this Ravens team. They're really deep. And real quick, a note from Sarah Elliston, who does a wonderful job covering the Ravens on her site. No team has ever led the league in points allowed, takeaways, and sacks in the same season. Okay, no team ever, not even the 2000 Ravens. Sarah points out that Baltimore leads in all three categories right now. So we're talking about an amazing offense that's really deep, and then maybe the most historic defense since the 2000 Ravens in that franchise. So when you're talking about great offense, great defense, and oh, by the way, the best kicker of all time. Feel pretty good about our shot going into January. Now they get a week off and watch the rest of the league bang up against each other.
It's pretty fun. That's the best team in the league playing their best game. And I would challenge you to, what is the Ravens' best game this year? Because was it this one? Was it the Niners game? Was it when they beat the crap out of a pretty tough Seahawks team? Was it when they destroyed a really good Lions team? You could just take your pick. You went early 90s Bills. I'm going late 90s Bulls.
Okay.
There was a game in the Bulls-Jazz finals. It was 1998 finals. The Chicago Bulls won 96-54. They won by 42 points over Malone and Stockton and everybody. Every single player on the Bulls scored a basket. Bill Wennington was the last one. He hit a baseline jumper, and it's like, it's complete. Bill Wennington scored. That's what it felt like watching the Ravens yesterday. Ricard scored. Melvin Gordon scored. It's like empty the bench and get them to score. Get in there. Ronnie Brown wants to score. Judd Bushler scored. Bobby Hansen scored. Dennis Hopson scored. They all scored. And that was the best basketball team at the time. The Ravens have a feel of a basketball team. It's all dunks and threes and runs and reverses. they have a long rest to chill, to think, to do whatever, to party, to put some ointment on whatever's on John's head from headbutting somebody. It was just a full flex. Yeah. Spread their wings. We are the best team. Harbaugh said it afterwards. He's like, we basically played perfect. Like, every coach is like, oh, we got some things to shore up. No, we don't have to clean squat. I think we played our perfect game, and we're the best team. There's some demons that are lurking for the playoff performances and Lamar in the playoffs and how he's played. That's a few weeks from now. Best team in the league playing their best game against a very good Dolphins team that now has a massive week, and we'll talk about the Dolphins later.
Well, by the numbers, Lamar played perfect because he had the perfect passer rating for just the third time in his career. The only quarterback that's done it 4 times has been Roethlisberger. So he has time still to attain that 4th one. A player, I'm going to have you guess, a player on the Ravens who said, I felt like I was at the movie theater. I just didn't have any popcorn watching Lamar Jackson's performance was. If you had to take a guess, who would have said something? No, Roquan Smith, our smiley friend of the show, Roquan Smith. You know who else I enjoyed watching all season long? It's been the silent assassin, fast twitch rookie wide receiver, Zay Flowers. He has been so unbelievable. And now he has the most receiving yards for the Ravens in organization history. He passed Torrey Smith. Now he's got 842, and he's still got a game to go. Granted, I know he did it in 17 weeks, but it has been so fun and electric to watch Zay Flowers. Jay, I know you picked him as your offensive rookie of the year. When I saw him in London, I told him, like, Jason McCourty picked you, and he's smiling. I got his back. I got his back. He is so into it. You can tell his personality is contagious in that locker room for the Baltimore.